If you hear Brendan Batchelor's sweet commentary voice in the background of this audio, then I apologize, because the Vancouver Canucks are playing off against the Calgary Flames at this very moment. However, I kind of have to multitask, because even though I'm trying to do my darndest to watch this Canucks and Flames game, I did just get finished up watching the Detroit Red Wings and the Chicago Blackhawks, with the Wings winning 4-2. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it took a lot of kind of jumping through hoops and hurdles to make sure I was able to even watch this game. I didn't get the proper video footage, actually, until partway through the second period. I had to watch most of this game in Russian. It was so weird. I didn't have the Red Wings app, unfortunately, but through various other means, we were still able to access the video footage of the game. However, I do want to say, before diving into the events of this Red Wings 4-2 win in the preseason, we kind of have to be a little bit more acknowledging, I think, of everything that happened, because I saw a lot of people complaining, kind of talking trash about this broadcast in particular. Not the game, not the players, but the broadcast. And this was made at its absolute worst, I think, when Lucas Raymond had a breakaway sometime in, I believe it was the second period, and before he entered the offensive zone, on the broadcast we saw player cards. We saw like Connor Bedard and Teuvo Teravainen, and they popped up on the screen, and us viewers were not able to see Lucas Raymond do the thing on the breakaway. It was really frustrating, but the big disclaimer for everything we had seen in this game was that the video broadcast that we had was actually the Jumbotron footage inside the Chicago Blackhawks arena. So this definitely was not a regular TV broadcast with their camera work and the transitions and everything. That's why you could see fans on the screen popping up every so often during the whistles. You could see the commercial intermission screen during the intermissions and everything. This was the regular Jumbotron footage just being broadcasted online, which is why we had that absolute travesty of a play where Lucas Raymond had a breakaway and we didn't even get to see him come in on goal and take a shot. He didn't score, so I guess there's that consolation prize, but it was very frustrating and kind of questionable. Like, what's going on here? Why did that happen? Either way, we as fans, I think, don't necessarily have a right to watching preseason games, so the fact that we were able to get this one on our TV screens, or not even TV screens, but just on any screen, a computer screen or a phone screen, I think warrants some gratitude. So at the very least, I wanted to say that at the beginning of this video. The broadcast sucked, don't get me wrong, it was not good, but what else are you gonna do, right? The Red Wings, though, end up winning this game 4-2. Let's talk about the goals, and then we'll talk about the players that stood out, as well as some extra little things here. First goal of the game scored by Tyler Motte only 1 minute into the entire hockey game. It's in the first period. Austin Watson is on the right boards. He sends one right through the crease, and it's Tyler Motte in front, who's right at the doorstep to bang it in. He gets the 1-0 goal for Detroit. Tyler Motte, I saw a lot of people saying very good things about him, and for good reason too. We had seen what Motte is capable of in this game. He forechecks hard, he never stops skating, he's always in dirty areas, he's not afraid to get physical, and his undying work ethic is what made him such a fan favorite in Vancouver, in New York, in Tampa Bay. Everywhere he has played, Motte has been beloved, and Red Wings fans are going to have no difficulty having that for themselves too. So Motte makes it 1-0 in the first period. Husso actually played pretty well, I'd say, in period number 1. He stopped 11 Chicago shots and looked pretty confident in the process. But in the second period, this is where things started to fall apart, I'd think, for Ville Husso. The first goal scored by Chicago, it's a 1-1 tie game. Craig Smith comes in on goal with a wicked snapshot on the rush. It goes off the post, beats Husso, and then the rebound pops right back to Craig Smith, who ends up going over onto the backhand. He one-time backhands it up high Husso out of position because he already committed to the first shot that went off the post. It was just a wild rebound, wild ricochet back over to Smith. Husso didn't really have an opportunity to do anything on that shot. He did get beat twice on the initial shot and then the backhand rebound, but I want to give him a little bit of a pass there. The second goal, though, scored just 3 minutes later by Teuvo Teravainen. This was not a good one. Ville Husso, you have to save this one. Connor Bedard finds Teuvo Teravainen on the kind of hash marks in front of the goal, and he just kind of backhands it. That's it. He straight up backhands it on goal. Ville Husso is down on the butterfly, and the puck goes right beside him. It's trickling along the ice. This one doesn't go over the pads or anything. It just goes along the ice right beside his left pad. Totally bad positioning for Ville Husso to let that one in. It's a Chicago Blackhawks 2-1 lead in the hockey game. I wanted to say as well, assisted by Connor Bedard, man, Connor Bedard looked great, especially on the power play in this one. Hoo-wee! When that guy moves around, it's graceful as all hell. Either way, though, the Wings end up tying the game up in the second period. Carter Mazur and Marco Kasper get assists on Jeff Petry's slapshot goal from far out. It's a really great play by Carter Mazur to keep things alive. He dives to poke the puck back to Petry at the blue line, who walks right in and slaps it by the goaltender. 2-2 tie game. We're heading into the third. Things started out really well with Lucas Raymond 3 minutes in getting himself a power play goal. He has the space right in front, DeBrincat to Larkin, Larkin over to Raymond. He walks right in and snipes it by the goalie Petr Mrazek. And then you had yourselves a goal later on, 10 minutes later, by Olli Maatta. Beautiful goal here. It's Emmett Finney who has the puck. He eventually finds Erik Gustafsson, whom we had talked about earlier in today's show. Gustafsson was winding up for a shot, but as DeBrincat and Kane said in his deception, instead of shooting the puck, Gustafsson throws it over to the side for Olli Maatta, who walks right in and drives it by with a beautiful snipe, giving the Wings a 4-2 lead. That's inevitably the final score. Detroit takes it 4-2. There are some guys that stood out in this game very well. I want to give a big shout out over to Marco Kasper. He got 1 assist in this game, but throughout the first 40 minutes or so, that guy just could not get away from the puck. Every time he had it, he was making dangles, he was driving to the front of the goal. There were really good individual chances that Marco Kasper was setting up by himself. Man, if he keeps this up, I think we're going to have no choice but to stray away from that label of him being a purely defensively minded two-way center, because that guy has handles. Carter Mazur also showed off very well. The assist over to Jeff Petry, chef's kiss, of course, that was great. But Mazur, just in totality, had a really strong game. I was a really big fan of his decisions and the handles that he had on him as well. Lots of good things going on with these two young wings in Kasper and Mazur. Lucas Raymond looked electric as always. He was fantastic. I think him, DeBrincat, and Larkin, when they were really getting going, it's kind of like, okay, you kind of feel like a goal is coming. A goal is coming. It is inevitable seeing what these guys are capable of. And then for the goaltenders, I will say that Sebastian Cossa did come in for the third period. He had 10 shots against. He saved all of them. Looked pretty solid in net. I don't want to think that he had the most difficult time in this one, but he still showed up, did his job. Looked a lot better than Husso when Husso let in some of those stinkers, but either way, Sebastian Cossa played pretty well. On the Chicago side of things, I was really surprised with the Craig Smith goal. I did not know that he had that level of precision in him. Connor Bedard, I thought, looked really, really strong, and then you had some rough stuff going on as well with some of these other guys. I mean, that decor in Chicago, Seth Jones, Martinez, Alex Vlasic, tough bunch of guys, honestly. So all in all, the Wings take game 1 of their preseason 4-2 over the Chicago Blackhawks. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How did you feel about the way Marco Kasper played? How did you feel about Carter Mazur? How did you feel about Sebastian Cossa and some of the other Wings that we had seen in today's showcase? Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.